Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some Azorius Flicker or Azorius Scam, as they've been calling the type of effects where we turn a creature into a very poor creature into a very good creature by bringing it back in some way. In Modern, that's either griefing somebody by doing it for free and then reanimating it in a sense to bring it back for free. So instead of 4 mana, we spend 1 mana and we take a couple cards from our opponent. But here we are playing Azorius Flicker in Standard, or again, Azorius Scam. And the idea here is to play these cards with Prototype or play something else later, and we'll talk about it. But we want to play these prototypes for the cheap cost, this being 2 mana, this being 3 mana, and this being 3. And then using effects that kind of exile these or take it off the battlefield temporarily and then re-put them back in, because they will enter as their larger counterpart. So then this will re-enter as a 5/4, a 3/3, or a 4/5, and that gets very, very good, especially when you can do it with a lot of combat tricks. Or we just use our flicker effects to do something like this, where we're kind of behind on board or mono red is kind of beat up on us. We play this, we make a couple of fish, we flicker it, it re-enters, we gain more life, make more fish potentially. As you'll see in one of our matchups, it actually comes up and it's very, very effective. But realistically, we are a high value deck that focuses primarily on getting as much value out of a single card as we can, or use that card to kind of force our opponent to remove it and then get value out of the next card. So our flicker effects, there are plenty in this deck, so we kind of go through them one by one. I'm going to focus primarily on the new ones. But we have Get Away Glamour. This is a 2-for-1. It's not necessarily a new card, but a card you probably haven't seen very often. But it has Spree on it. So for 1 white and then 1 colorless, exile target non-token creature, returns to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. This can also be used offensively. If our opponent puts, say, a Shieldred in play, and we could technically swing for lethal, we can actually exile their creature to get it out of the way for 1 turn and swing in lethal. The other thing is Splash Portal. This is a new card. The bottom part will not necessarily be met. The bird can happen because technically the swan is a bird, but realistically this is just to exile one of our important creatures and then return it to the battlefield as a larger copy of itself, or just in general flicker a thing that is just good for us. And one of those things could be, for example, if we have a guardian, we could flicker it with the Splash Portal, re-flickering our spring loaded trap so we can kind of pop another creature if needed. But for the final card in terms of the bottom end, we have the Parting Gust. I played this one other time as a splash card, but here I think we find a lot more value with it. It can both be used offensively, like we've said with the other card, but exile target non-token creature. If the gift wasn't promised, return that creature to the battlefield under its owner's control with a 1/1 counter on it at the beginning of the next end step. So we can use this for ourselves as a flicker effect, or we can use it as a exile card for 2 mana and just giving our opponent a fish. I am perfectly fine exiling a Slick Shot Show Off that is a 7/2 or a 9/2 and giving them a 1/1 fish. I'm okay with that, chat. I'm not that upset about it. So other than that, we move on to some kind of cool cards that you might not see very often. I guess we're just going through the whole deck at this point. We have Guardian, enter the battlefield, flicker a thing, returns it back on the end step. This can do a creature or artifact. This kind of does the same thing, Flying Ward, but we can pay to do it, which can be used just kind of throughout the game as the game moves on, flickering this or another creature that's important. And we have Beza, Twinning Twins. Kind of the same thing as these other creatures. They all kind of follow the same role, but have just different variations. But we have Salvation Swan. This has Flash, very important there. But when it or another bird you control enters, exile up to 1 target creature you control without flying, return to the battlefield under your zone of control with flying, counter on it at the beginning of the next end step. This is also help around board wipes, by the way. So if your opponent does Sunfall and you're like, wow, I just need 4 damage, you can cast one of these, flicker it, it'll go to exile, everything will get board wiped, and then it'll return it end step so you can get that back. But Beza, I've talked about this, I think 2 videos in a row. So if you watched, you're going to hear this again. I'm sorry. New set. Whenever it enters, create a treasure token. If opponent controls more lands than you, gain 4 life. If they have more life than you, create 2 1/1 blue fish creature tokens. If an opponent has more creatures than you, or draw a card if they have more cards than you. This just inherently works as a catch-up card for us, or a card that we can get a ton of value out of in general. Other than that, we are on 24 lands. I'm pointing that out for a very important reason, as you'll see in the video, at least early on. But other than that, our games are crazy today. Our record is very good as well. We do perform well today, and I'm not entirely sure how, because some of our opening hands don't look like we should ever win a game. But if y'all enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing, and let's just head out there and see how much scamming we can truly do to other people on Arena. My opponent goes first. I want to say our hand looks bad, but like, I feel like most of our hands are all going to look bad, you know? I don't think they're ever going to be like, oh, wow, that hand's great. Good. I'm going to take one, especially when we see a white mana source. We know we're not against mono red. Taking one is just a little bit safer. And I think the idea of getting like the Novice Inspector in on turn 2 as well. We see Orzhov now. We have a flicker piece. And this is sorcery, so we do have to be a little bit careful that we don't get blown out. So let's go to combat. This could be Orzhov Walkers, Orzhov like challenge winning deck. I also have Smite, so it's the control list. We can tell that much right away. I'll just play another Inspector, knowing that we're kind of against the control list here. And then I'll pass. Go to Flicker Disc, I guess, but there's not like any real point. Staff of Completion. Hopefully we can turn that card into a very awful card for our opponent. Have another Smite. Maybe so. Maybe not. Maybe, baby. We'll put this into play. They only have 1 mana available. This can't be go for the 30, but we can draw a card off of it, which is nice. It does have double strength. We will flicker it after we kind of go to combat with it, hopefully. We'll see. No Wandering Emperor that we have to ever worry about again, so I feel pretty good about this. I do feel like we're just going to get hit with some instant speed removal, maybe another Elspeth Smite. Yeah, that's fine. Like, we knew it was going to happen. We have a couple more on backup here. So, let us play another one. The best part about playing these against like a slower match is they do replace themselves. It's not necessarily like we're out a lot, but let's try to flicker it and draw another card. Might barrel a removal spell for it immediately. Get Lost, that's fine. Get Lost can help us grow our Novice Inspector a ton. Activating Staff of Completion here, 4 life to draw a card is insane. That's Ashiok, we making creatures now. Then it's a Veil. Alright, well, we can make creatures, things like that. I guess I go ahead, activate this here. Hopefully this hits. Ah, thankfully it does. So we can get Ashiok off the board here. You might be like, well, how do we do that? Well, we play here. We play Steel Seraph. We give our Novice Inspector flying here. Flying. Then it hits Ashiok down. Now that's gone. We don't have to worry about it anymore. And they are at 7. So like 6 damage in the air is looking pretty good. And then I have like instant speed flicker if needed. Oh, I guess it's only a token, so I can't even remove these, but my opponent passes. I'll just move to combat. Target here. I'll give this flying. Attack. Probably not going to save that. There's like a lot of things I could save that doesn't necessarily feel like the thing to save. That hits. We cast the glyph. When's this return? At the beginning of the next end step, so even if they sunfall me here, I'm actually really good. That flickers. Pass. It'll re-enter, and now be a 5/4. It'll be lethal on its own here. And then if this is like untap, board wipe, we exile this. It'll return on their end step. Go for the throat, cut down. Not going to be able to cover it. And our opponent concedes to the weird value that we get. No Go for a Throat can obviously remove our flyer, so because it's an artifact, so this obviously can't be removed by Go for the Throat. But using it to get lost early. Elspeth Smite's coming down as well. I think the very first Elspeth Smite on a 1-2 maybe I'm not a fan of, because it's like if you're a control deck, you have to be willing to take a little bit of damage, but it is what it is. We move on. Seems pretty good. I like this hand. We can exile a creature if we find one. We're going to obviously surveil for one anyway. Merrick's can just go here. Also, like, this card's pretty fine. Even if we have to exile it to generate value. Maybe not the matchup for it. Could be discard. Could be blue-black control. Even though that deck has kind of fallen off a bit, we'll just do another surveil here. Throw another land in the yard. So far, we have 4, 5, 6, 7 lands here. The land count shouldn't be that common here, but the only thing to get out of this hand is spring-loaded trap. All right, apparently we're just going to hit all lands. Like, I don't know. We're really good at this part. All right. I guess I have nothing else going on. I've hit just so many lands in a row. This is wild. I like was intentionally in my head trying not to complain about it, because I was like, it's whatever, it happens. And then I drew like 2 more. 3 more. My bad, chat. Part of me thinks I should deck thin, but my oh my. What is going on? I don't know, dude. Slam this. Don't let them use 3 steps ahead to draw cards. We should be able to generate value off some of our creatures later. And this has ward, so not like the most protected thing of all time, but protected nevertheless. Just try to maybe conceal something, maybe not. Yeah, fair enough. Hey, the wood. Yeah, that's fine. Yep. We have a lot of creatures that can draw, but I think if we lose this game, I think we know why. Want to Tidebinder me? Go for it, dude. Actually be kind of funny if they did. 2 more basics. Port and a Newt. Well, yeah, that is a creature. I'm going to pay around No More Lies. I just like play this? I think so. I think, again, I'm just trying to keep them off balance. Don't really let them set up ever. But there's only so much I'm going to be able to do. Another Go for the Throat. Even cut down works here, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. We just need the creature that draws cards. There's a lot of them. My opponents also hit a lot of lands. But, yeah. We have 1 more of these. I don't think we have another one of these. We have 1 more of those. Yeah. Ah, yes. Play it. I know idealistically, like, the idea should be like, wait, hold it kind of thing, but I don't know what else to do. In step, remove your creature again. Yeah, that makes sense. Make another Merrick's token. I'm not gonna lie, chat. If I draw a land off the top, I'm conceding. Honestly, that card just makes me want to concede regardless.
No secret escapes my grasp.
Yeah. I mean, chat, like, what am I supposed to do, bro? Like, come on now. Ooh. Tough one for my opponent to go first on. Not a huge fan, so I'm gonna try. I would argue that a lot of my hands in general don't necessarily look the best when you look at them at first glance. Bro. Maybe they think I'm Convoke. They think I'm Convoke, I get it, but That seems just a bit aggressive, you know. Play here. Play this guy. Then I can like flicker him. Sure. I just like, I don't think they attack. I can't imagine they attack. There's no way that you just attacked me. Wow. I mean, I think I'd take the trade. Then they lose both of these. Oh, they're both creatures. That's tough. That is tough. Well, if I'm going to play a land that's tapped here, I might as well play the one that's always tapped instead of these ones will come in untapped for the remainder of the game. Exile target non-token creature, return to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Okay. I can flicker their own thing. Is what I could do. But I'm probably looking to... I don't know what I'm looking to do. Kind of a weird rite of passage here. I think I'm gonna flicker this thing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna flicker it. Just like they'll get it back, but at the same time, you're not doing anything. And then I'll probably play land and just play this instead. I kind of forgot that this was like an adventure thing. To get that back, it's not cast. Parting Gust, pretty cool. I have 2 blue. I probably want to grab a white here. Yeah. Then we cast Twins. Cut down, not gonna be able to get it. They could have Go for the Throat. I'll take their entire turn, and then I'll take like 5, which does suck, but at the same time, it is what it is. But block here. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. 2 more cards that they can't cast. Yeah. Cool. All right. Just so hopefully I can stop drawing lands here, because that'd be super sick. Yeah, if we do this, we draw a card. Then we just pass. I can technically exile one of their creatures and give them a fish, which is a thing I could do. Yeah. Combat tricks. Damage, and then there's the damage. They'll get my abuelo, which technically could flicker my giant creature over and over again, so they get one option. We'll enter. I'll draw a card. 4/4 first strike. How am I supposed to win my games if all I draw lands, dude? Like, what am I playing? Oh my, man. This is starting to get frustrating. I have a 4/4 double striker, I guess. And if they have one of these, like, I just get blown out. Trust me, opponent. I wish my deck was good. I wish this was good, my guy. For you, honestly. Yeah, I'm gaming over here. Attack with your menace creature. Make the mistake for me. This is the out we needed. Block. Doesn't matter how they choose. The first strike will shoot it down first. Then I'll just draw my card. All right. Hit 2 lands. Sure. Dude. Oh my god, bro. I don't know what to do anymore, chat. How many more lands I have? All of them? Sure. I'd hate to draw anything other than these lands. No attacks. They didn't attack into it the first time, so I'm going to hold as long as I can. Yeah, this is the combat trick this time around. Bad to guess. Perfect. Got a second go for the third. I like letting me in with this, but if they have the pump spell, it really, really sucks. Nope. Okay, perfect. What do we have here? Hey, you have a land. Wow, chat. A spell. Oh my god, bro. I can't. This is 8 damage, by the way. Alright, so they drew a Gev. I think that's pretty obvious. When did you return? Enter the exile target creature you control without flying. Return to the battlefield and just go flying counter at the beginning of the next end step. Okay. Sure. Attack might have been loose, but we have a bird. Yeah, so we knew they drew another Gev. At least we thought they did. 2, 3. I did play a land for turn, didn't I? Or did I just do something stupid and not do that? Yeah, so they're attacking here, knowing I can't really bring up this. So now I get a bird. I'm going to trade this off. I mean, I end up winning, but I think us getting that menace creature, like, I think realistically, if they're attacking, they might need to kind of go all out, but I'm unsure. But us getting to trade off both of these in a very effective manner, I think ends up winning this game. But dude, that's just back-to-back games that Arena is just loving me hitting lands. When it goes first, trying to decide what I do based on what I draw. I think this hand's definitely keepable. Yeah, so here I'm just gonna go ahead and fast and reveal white source. Interesting. Planes into play. You can call it a day. And then we'll see. Your opponent reveals their hand. Choose a non-land card from it. Discard otherwise. Yeah, sure. Which one you want? There's a lot of them. We Rakdos kind of discard, or is this just a value card? Alright, well, we hit a land that they don't know about. Go for the throw. It's not able to remove this. Cut down can, but hopefully next turn we can flicker this after combat and make it a 4/5. Oh my schnapper. That's not good, chat. That's not good. I think the play should be this into this, and we just protect ourselves. Oh, I could have attacked. If they would have blocked, it would have been a punt. Absolute punt. You have a blast zone in this deck? I mean, I get it, I guess, if you're like... very easy block for me. Did they expect me not to block there? Interesting. I have virtues. I guess I can just go for this, right, chat? Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd go for it. My 4/5. You've been scammed. Now they do probably play bitter triumphs and stuff, but we'll have to see kind of where that comes in. Last zone number 2. Big butt stack working its magic. They have that guy. That's fine. Like, it's not fine, but like at the same time, it's got to be what it's got to be, right? Back here. They double block, I put a counter on it. Sure. Take the hit. That totally makes sense to me. I guess I just play the creature. I kind of want to play the creature with ward, because then it kind of takes our entire turn. But I also want to play this like double striker and try to flicker it next turn. I can't cast it for that. Let's play it. See if I hit a land too. I mean, my deck was all about giving me lands for the past 2 games. I figured it would just keep doing it, you know? But this infamous Crew Claw is very, very scary, I will say. Like threateningly scary. I hate that it can touch me and I die. Or they like put in a virtue or whatever. But having a cheap card like this in it is a little risky. I don't mind it personally, especially in Best of One, to play something like that. But I can see how it'd be frustrating if you ever hit it. But I mean, let's see what they do. They go to combat. The double out attack, huh? One. I'll let this 3 hit to keep my 1/1 that I can flicker here. They just concede. Okay. The big butts, they couldn't do it. Arena working as intended. Arena working as intended. I found a match and my client crashed. Very cool. Opponent goes first. Wow. Sure. I mean, this is fine. Like, this hand looks really, really bad, and maybe that's because it is. But you know, sometimes we don't ask for that. The reason I'm keeping is because I have kind of a flicker effect, and I just need a payoff card. And with 4 mana, that means a lot of my payoff cards I can pay either the 3 or the 2 and put them in and then flicker them and make them huge. And we have 1 removal and a creature to drop on turn 1, so it is what it is. But mouse, there's a mouse in the house. All right, well, I think it's play this, lock, and then spring loaded trap it. This deals damage to me, right? Yeah, that's tough. Block. If they have like a way to give it trample, they have a way to give it trample. Yeah. Sure. I take a lot less. Now, yeah. Do I spring loaded trap this now? Or do I wait? I think I just do it now. It didn't play another creature off the thing naming mouse, so I think I just do this, take my 3, call it a day. And then I can use it, hold this up next turn, and if I need to use it, then I will. But if I don't need to use it, then great. Ooh, that one doesn't have haste, though. This card's gonna come in clutch, hopefully. They could give it haste, I guess. I'm in trouble. I could play this. It's a 2/2. This gives a fish. How bad's a fish? I don't have a blue. Like, I would love to play this and make a 4/5. I think I have to just hold this. Because if they do some nonsense where they give this double strike plus they cast 2 spells, I'm going to die. So, you know. I could just even flicker it, but I think I should exile it if that's the case, right? I don't think I'd do anything else. Yeah, what's the plan, Captain? What's your plan? Make a choice. Sure. Oh, please. This is everything we ever wanted. Oh, chat. Thankfully, we did not do it. You can have a fish. Fish, significantly worse than them getting that creature back. Crack this, go grab a plains. And then I'm going to grab another, I guess it doesn't matter here, but I'm going to grab an island, and then I'm going to play this Biza, and I'm going to have it gain me life and then make my fishies. You know, unfair. My opponent gets all the fishies, so I want some fish. This actually sounds really good right now. Here we are. Offspring, so whenever I target a thing, they get 1-0 or something. I don't remember exactly what it says. But double strike, well, I have enough to block the mouse that's raging. What's it say? Whenever this creature becomes target of spell or ability you control for the first time, I should control get a 1-0. So, not necessarily where they want to be. Double strike here. Should I block it down? Or just block with a fish? I like blocking with just a fish. Just keep this guy. Brave bird, frog, otter, rat. That's an elk. This gives me kind of permanent flickers. And I'll have it online next turn. So I guess that's fine with me. I plan on flickering it regardless, so let's just attack with this thing. I think I'm just gonna play this as 2. Oh, they block. Okay. Play this here for 2. And then, like I said, I'm gonna flicker this, which will gain us a lot more life here. Come back in. You got more feces. More little dudes. A land from them is devastating. A card that I think might just decide this game. Yeah, should just get bigger, but that gets double strike. I have a 4/5 I can block with. Not gonna work out too well. And then I will play this guy. And then I will just see how this game pans out, I guess. Swing with this dude. It could be like a monster trade situation where things go super south, but I hope that doesn't happen. And they can see, sure. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. We're winning a lot with this deck. I know you can't really tell because my client crashed, but I think I dropped in 1 game and it was incredibly hard flooding so far. So yeah, sweet. Sweet. Opponent goes first. Can I just stand right away, especially considering I have 3 basics in hand? Probably, right? And then I can spring-loaded trap and then flicker spring-loaded trap if they have another creature that's tapped. We'll see exactly what happens, but I'm not really sure. I guess I don't have to fetch with this right away, right? I can just play like my land's tapped. Like I don't want to draw more lands, you know? Oh, Gary. Another triumph going to be good against all creatures, but the 3-drop with vigilance. Card's pretty hard for us to beat. You're going to make me discard a card, opponent. Tiny bones. Sure. I'm gonna do this just to conceal what I'm playing. They play Tapland. They'll hit me for 1, of course. Don't worry. A Fable Passage is sneak attack. Put a colony garden in play and make an own 1 plant. They will cheat. That's what I'm saying. Like this. Go grab our little island here. Tap. That kind of sucks. Of all lands to draw there. I think I play this now and just hit this Tiny Bones while it's tapped. Because, like, worst case scenario, at least in my mind, is I don't do that. Although I guess I could have waited. Maybe they play a 3-drop. It's important, like this one. Yeah. What do they do? They hit me and they blow up something, I guess. Just have this dodge most of their removal. Then they'll probably attack with this. They'll get a draw off of it, and then I'll play this, flickering this, shooting this. Yeah, I kind of thought it was gonna work that way, but the only problem is then they get to play Glissa, and then I don't get to put anything in play. I guess it was kind of like so. You have Terrace under or something. I can't exile both of my things. I'm not gonna block. No blocks from me. Let you draw your extra card. Only blows up enchantments. So far, everything I have is an artifact. Liliana. Okay.
No more distractions.
Here's my life linking route. Another land. Have we been here before, chat? I don't know. I feel like we have. Pump the creature. Now we call it a day. Liliana plus. At least with Liliana in play, I feel fine because I'll just discard lands at this point. But that's gone. The sheriff has been shot. +1. Discard. Secrum Coast here. I think I do go for trying to remove the Liliana, even though I feel as though they're screaming that they have the removal. But with this draw, actually, I kind of just want to play the Thrasher. I think they have removal. I'm going to play Thrasher. I'm going to draw a card here. They have Cut Down? Maybe? Oh, well, there's another land, chat. That land is for you, chat. Wow, they kept Cut Down. Okay. A little surprised with that, but I guess I don't blame them. Cut Down would have removed my anchorage. Is plussing here? What is your choice? You plus?
Don't overthink things.
Another land. Pillage? What did you keep? And they had to keep a removal spell. I'm like still unconvinced that it's anything else. How do I crew this? Crew 1. I'll do this. This land, if they plus, I'll get rid of the Guardian. It's fine with me. I just have removal in hand. The opponent. Mosswood cycle, sure. Interesting. Now this is down. Cycle again? Interesting. Land. Do they have removal now? Only sheriff getting shot. Oh no, go for the threat. Alright, well the Liliana is going to potentially die. Just tap it. Yeah, they get a tap fish here. Okay, I thought I didn't give them the fish, and you about just watched me tweak. I about lost my mind just now, chat. Really? Take it out. Now they have a fish. They have a creature. They have a land that they could attack me with. Now they don't. Toxic Bronco. Kind of cool. Not my favorite thing in the world. Novice Inspector. Actually, huge draw. Wow. That's kind of weird. That's probably one of our better draws that we could add. It's what? 2 untapped artifacts? We play the Guardian, and we flicker this Inspector. Inspector will then return battlefield, make a little thing. Now this is saddle 3, so they can't just saddle with the fish. Another draw from them. We take 1. But the reason this is so good, that clues, they don't have to be tapped and sacked in order to draw a card. You just pay 2 and it works. So I can actually crew up my chariot here by tapping 2 artifacts instead. So if they do a block here or attack here with like the Caustic Bronco or something, and they think, oh well, they're gonna have to saddle these things down or whatever, we're actually like perfectly fine with that. I don't want to block a Mosswood. I'd much rather get this thing down. We'll see what they hit. Oh my mama. True. Up. I don't feel comfortable anymore with the energy created in the studio with that Shieldred over there. Alright, I feel perfectly fine with everything that's happening. Alright, no, chat, never mind. Maybe we're cooking, okay? Maybe my opponent's cooked. I feel good. I feel alright. Should I attack them? Should I wait? Should I play this defensive game and not give their Mosswoods any value? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Should I swing this? Maybe I do just swing this. Maybe I just swing my flyers. This will make a map token, and the map token then can be used to crew this up. That's kind of sweet. So I'm down with what's going on right now. Don't you dare have a discard spell. River's good. It is good. There's a land. Block. I mean, I am at a vulnerable spot a little bit, yeah, right? And then I think 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I play my card right, I should have potentially lethal here. I already played a land, I believe, right? So, yeah, if I get lost this, I'll make these. Take 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sure. Yeah. Found lethal here, chat. Knock it through. Because now I get to use this flickering the fit. Is it non-token? Target non-token. I hate this game. I thought I had it. My turn. I thought I was close. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I can force them to block. And then I can flicker their land, I guess. I bet. Block here is 3, 5, 6. Let's do this. Just a block against these restless cottages, right? Then I just pass here. I just use this flicker effect. Play land. That's a 4/3. This is fine. That's not as fun. That's not as fun. You can put that back. Take that back, chat. Our opponent. You can put it back, I promise. Ooh, they're going in. Okay. I can let 5 hit. Flicker that. Exile target non-token creature return to the battlefield on its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. And this returns tapped. Because it's when it enters the battlefield, it's tapped. So we'll do this. I didn't want them to have a land and then make a food. Kind of where I'm at. Why am I getting clocked, brother? You're not giving me priority. I'll take it. I might need every creature to attack here, so that land comes back tapped. Do this. Exile target creature you control, then return to the battlefield under its own control. That's fine. And then I just bring up this flyer. I then tap these. Then I go to combat and I just attack out. And I think we have lethal. If they cut down this block here, they take 4. So unless there's some gain life effect in their hand, we end up getting it here. Or I guess they could fight something. I mean, I would do it. Like a tail swipe, but so technically they could declare a blocker here and then tail swipe my flyer. Because I think tail swipe is a fight spell at instant speed. And then I would only hit 3. Which would suck, chat. I'd be so dead to that. I don't think they have it, but we'll wait until they either timeout or come back. Alright, chat. We're going to tune back in here. My opponent did all 3 of their timeouts. And we are going to win the game. A very, very, very grindy game indeed that comes out. Maybe our opponent tilting a bit, but, you know, I get it. Okay, chat. When I look at this deck, and maybe, you know, you guys looked at it at the beginning, if you suck through all the way here. And honestly, I looked at this and I said, wow, that looks awful. This looks bad. I don't get it. You know, some decks you look at and you're like, how would this ever win, right? So this is technically 2, this is 3, and this is 3 in this deck. And this is like 2-ish. This is actually what the curve kind of looks like if you want it to kind of look at it realistically on how we're going to play it. But how we win games, I don't know. Really. Like, I think you were all there with me, right? We looked at the matches that we played and afterward went, wow, we really went 5-1 today. That's kind of crazy. Obviously, the one game we lost, you could argue that we were going to win if we would have hit anything other than lands, right? Like, we kind of exhausted their resources and then we did nothing at all since. But yeah, I mean, we got a lot of cool cards in here and a lot of things that get a ton of value. I mean, this Combat Thrasher is, you have to think of this as 3 mana draw 1 with like upside. Like, realistically, this creature is not going to stick around a lot of times. But if Go for the Throat's their main form of removal, and you can play something like this where they cut down at first, because obviously they could be afraid of us putting a counter on it next turn. If we're able to play this and have it stick around, I mean, we have so many ways to flicker these things. This is 2 mana flicker. This is 1 mana sorcery flicker, but this is instant speed. So if you can tell, exile target non-token creature, return to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. But this also acts as our removal spell in terms of we have 3 mana destroy target creature if no other creature has greater power. Sometimes this actually works to help remove a shielded, for example, because even at max power here, this is 3, and if it's tied for the same power, I believe this still works because the power isn't greater. It is equal, so I think it still works. But other than that, I saw a couple of, like, I think the argument is, like, we probably want to be playing, like, 3 Get Lost, and I get that. But for me, with this already be kind of a flicker deck, I really wanted to try the Parting Gust here. And with this card, we can exile target non-token creature if a gift wasn't promised. Return that creature to the battlefield under its owner's control. And with a 1/1 counter on it at the beginning of the next end step. So we can flicker our own creature with this, but also use it as a exile effect. And with mono red playing a lot of those cards that are like, if this creature dies, deal damage to your opponent for however much power I had. And Parting Gust kind of dodges that, right? Because it exiles that creature. It is officially gone. And if we don't want to give them a fish and say they pump all this stuff into it, or like they have this giant creature that we're like, well, we could beat it next turn because we have enough creatures in play. We just need it to not be a 12-3. We can just flicker it and they'll come back in like as a normal whatever size creature, and then we can deal with it then. Or they'll maybe make them have to block with it. But other than that, I mean, this list was fun. Maybe not the greatest list of all time. I think like one of the cards that we missed in this list is playing this and then go to prototype. So I don't know. There we go. I think we're missing this guy. Like, this is probably the card I felt the most like, wow, I really wish I could have flickered this guy a couple times. Now, we didn't play against mono red a ton, but this is just a very easy way for us to potentially play Esper in the future. Obviously, the mana's a little bit tough, but I do think, like, you could argue at some point that these are where we need to be. But, and then you could argue we play this, because if we have these effects, like this one, or this one, I guess this one, it does work. This will target it, and then you just have to pay the spree cost. But, I mean, if this is in the yard or this is in the yard and we get to play this, we can either flicker itself, which isn't necessarily that great. But if we had, like, one of these come in, and then we say flicker it, and then we had one of these, we can cast this and then flicker it again. So, these are kind of things to look out for, or maybe even had to play more of these against kind of aggro decks. But, other than that, it worked out well. We had a very good record. I wanted to say win rate and record at the exact same time, and that's what happened. But honestly, a card we didn't get to see much in here was this. I was kind of excited for this one. We just didn't see it. But whenever it or another bird we control enters the battlefield, which I don't think we have another bird. No birds. Not bird. Yeah, I would say we don't have another bird, but realistically, this is just a flash flicker thing like we saw it. I thought this was a 3/4, but it's not, and that kind of upsets me, but it's okay. Outside of that, I hope you all enjoyed the video anyway, and we came out with a couple of cool games and a couple of sweet victories, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.